Another September, another exciting Apple event in the books. Boy, we are a long way from Steve Jobs standing on those stages and kind of wowing us with different iPhone features and then in hardware and giving us a one more thing in there for a good measure. Now, the iPhone 16, at least if you're a fan of that, which a lot of people are, don't sit there and say, well, who cares about the iPhone 16? You shouldn't buy the iPhone 16. Lots of people buy those devices. They're typically on the list for the best sold phones in the United States and even the world. When you think about it, to get into the Apple ecosystem for a little less money, a lot of people go ahead and jump on that. So the iPhone 16 certainly got some worthy enhancements. I do like the new colors. I like the design. The whatever camera, the blend camera, or whatever the fusion camera that they're calling it. Listen, there's some trickery in there. I like the fact that Apple has brought down a lot of the Apple Intelligence stuff to the iPhone 16. I do like that it's running the A18 Bionic. I'm sure they've added more RAM in there as well to kind of handle all the Apple Intelligence stuff that they have planned. So if you're an Apple 16 user, nice sizes there. It's got a decent-ish price point, for what you're getting, right? It's Apple, so there's always going to be a premium. But if you're comparing it to something like the Pixel 9 entry-level device, it's kind of in the same boat, and you're getting the Apple ecosystem, and you're getting the generation emoji, all these things that you'd want in there as an Apple user. Great battery life as well. So I think a little bit more of an upgrade year over year from the iPhone 15 to the iPhone 16. The iPhone 15 Pro Max to the iPhone 16 Pro Max and Pro Series, a little bit less exciting. I don't think Apple understands what the word new means. They used that word new to describe the Apple Watch design and the iPhone 16 Pro design, and they look remarkably similar to how they've looked for the last, 7 years or so, at least 4 years on the iPhone side, and going back to the original Apple Watch on the Apple Watch side. So new, not so much. Trying to generate some excitement. Bigger screen size is nice, especially on the Apple Watch. You can see more text. Interesting on the iPhone Pro Max to get a 6.9-inch display. That's going to be just absolutely massive. It's a good thing they use titanium now, because if they were still on the stainless steel, that would weigh a pound and a half in your pocket. So it's interesting. I didn't hate the desert titanium as much as I thought I would. That looked like an awful dark color, but I actually kind of like it. That's probably one I'll get, because I don't like the natural titanium. The silver, I've been there, done that, and the black phone I never get. So it's the black titanium. So the blue titanium, would have liked to have seen another one. I really like the aqua and kind of the lighter blue colors and the pink that they had on the iPhone 16. Again, Apple, along with every other manufacturer on the planet, seems to think that if you spend more money, your rods and cones don't work correctly, and you're not going to like color, because you got to be serious. You're spending more money on the Pro Max. You're a very serious person. I don't care about the cinema stuff. I had to watch that whole thing now. It's my job now. I'm not complaining, okay? I'm not saying it's a hard day's work, all right? But I'm sitting there watching this hour and 40-minute event, and it is painful, mind-numbing, the things that they come up with. Like, you got kind of the surf report on your Apple Watch. Just the time they spend on some of these features that apply to 14 people drives me nuts. And you can have, could we spend that time on having the mail app work properly, to where if I delete a draft, it doesn't show up for like a week before it finally disappears from my screen? Could we focus on that instead of the tide report for surfers out in California? I don't know. Some of these examples, especially the AI examples, if you ever sent a Slack message like that to your boss, if you typed it up like that, and you need your iPhone to go ahead and clean up the language of a Slack message, they're like, "Yo, boss, what's that?" Then I don't know how you got the job in the first place. There's certain things about AI I like, which we'll talk about in the iPhone 16 Pro. There are plenty of things about it. And Google did this too. Send a message to my landlord that the air conditioner is broken. Can we stop using AI as a way for people to have, to kind of offshore and kind of offload personal experience, personal interaction, people skills? Can we do that, please? Because that's the road I don't think we want to go down. That's the road where AI kind of takes over personality for people, or gives people personality. That's the only way that they can communicate. And it's completely about a generation of people who, when the phone rings, they hide under a desk. The people can't talk to people as it is anymore, and I don't like AI filling that gap. The things I do like on the iPhone that are I do like, and this is something we talked about with the Google AI and Gemini, and hoping that it would do that. prioritizing and summarizing messages and notifications. I do like that. I like it kind of getting a text message, boiling down what the gist of it is, especially if it's a high priority thing. Like they said, I could get a dinner reservations at 7. Would you let me know? And it was close to 7, so it moved that to the top. That's kind of what I was talking about with the Gemini stuff. I would like to see that in email. I would like to see that in other notifications. I would really like to see them be able to say, okay, here's a priority thing. Here's a priority message coming in. Would you like to address this right now? And that's something that I like that Apple's now going through notifications in iOS 18 and kind of reordering and prioritizing stuff. I'm sure there's going to be some hiccups there. I'm sure they got their own version of Pixel Studio. They got their own little whatever. You could generate an emoji on the go. You can make that little cowboy shrimp emoji or whatever it was towards the end there. That's fine. There's some health stuff in there that was genuinely impressive. There was the stuff about using your AirPods as FDA approved hearing aids. If you noticed, by the way, there was a lot of catering to older generations. I think Apple understands that enthusiasts are going to always want more from their devices, but they could cater to with the hearing aid stuff, with the AFib stuff, with crash detection or fall detection. They had that video in the beginning of that older gentleman playing with his grandkids over FaceTime. I think Apple understands a lot of who their customer is and was certainly pandering to them with a lot of those features and things. So they want to secure that market. They want to make sure that older users don't give a Pixel a try, since Pixel is now consumer friendly with their design and their features and all the rest of it. So I think that Apple was really kind of reaching out there and saying, hey, we're still the phone you buy your parents, right? If you're worried about your parents' health, if you're worried about them living alone, if you're worried about you want them to see your kids, the iPhone is still the phone that you buy your parents. So I think there was some definite kind of conscious effort there with that. The iPhone Pro Max, listen, the camera stuff I just can't with the weekend and the cinematic stuff and the slow-mo and everything like that. I'm never going to use that unless the $1,200 I spend on the iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with those 4 years of film school. None of that matters to me. So there was a lot of nonsense there. It was a lot of kind of masking the fact that there weren't any real upgrades there. Yes, you get the extra button. My Lumia 1020 is laughing somewhere in a drawer that we now have the camera buttons on the side. I like that it's capacitive, or you could slide across it and zoom it. That's fine. The thing in Snapchat, okay, but that still kind of highlights that iPhone is still out there in terms of social media, still going to be the front runner there with Instagram filters, with Snapchat. So that's kind of where they really, it was a long event. It was in a lot of ways, boring event. It masked the fact that there weren't a lot of significant upgrades to the devices, but it was certainly a targeted event. Kids with the AI stuff and the emojis and whatever, productivity, workers, prioritizing your messages and emails and cleaning up things and generating ideas, and then of course the older audience with the health stuff and keeping in touch with your family. So it was boring. It was all over the place at times, but it certainly hit on the notes that I think Apple was looking forward to. If you have an iPhone 15 Pro Max, even an iPhone 14 Pro Max, should you be upgrading? No, I don't think so. We'll see when the device comes in. But for the most part, it's going to be more of the same from Apple. And that's unfortunately just really what we have to expect now. They know what their audience, they know who their audience is. They're not going to risk that, and that's the end of it. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.